Hi beautiful women, I'm making this video especially for you and your baby that's growing inside. So depending on which trimester you're in, whether it's the first trimester when maybe you're feeling a little bit sick, tired, need to go to the toilet all the time, a bit worried, whatever you're going through, or the second trimester where hopefully you're feeling a little bit more energetic and just feeling like you can still go about and do things and get on with things, or the third trimester where maybe you're feeling a little bit more weary and heavier and really ready for your baby to come soon. So this practice is designed to be safe for all trimesters. And that doesn't mean that it's necessarily okay for you. So if you're in the first trimester, when you're feeling a little bit less sure about what's going on, and it doesn't feel okay to do this practice, please don't do this practice. Or if your doctor has suggested that it's best that you don't, please don't do it. But it's a very gentle form of yoga. So it's designed to be safe. So whatever's going on for you, adapt the exercises and postures to be comfortable for you and where you are at with your pregnancy, and if you have any pain or any swelling or tiredness or whatever. So really do what's right for you. Please don't lie on your back for an extended period, which we won't be doing so much, but just at the end if you're over 30 weeks. That's important, just remember that, and just be really careful with your transitions and just really look after yourself and your baby. Okay, I've actually got quite a few props here. I've got some cushions at the back, and I've got a bolster, and I've got a couple of blocks, a blanket, a strap and an eye mask. I won't actually probably be using the strap, although it might be suitable for some people. The eye mask is just a little added extra. But basically, if you have anything like these, then grab them now. So it could just be pillows from your bed or cushions from your sofa. But towards the end, we are going to just prop ourselves up a little bit. And you might want to use it in child's posture to prop yourself up and things. So especially if you're towards the end of your pregnancy. Okay, namaste, and I look forward to practicing with you.
Oh, radiant sun, pure consciousness, flaming orb of truth and bliss, remove the veil so I can see, illuminate my heart, awaken me.
So finding a comfortable seated position, sometimes women when they're pregnant find it coming into this deer pose quite helpful. I'm actually not pregnant, so for me, if I'm in deer pose, I want to prop myself up with a cushion, and we can change the other side if you want to. If you prefer cross-legged, please sit in cross-legged. So we'll begin by bringing our hands to the heart and just taking a few breaths. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Inhale and exhale. Bring the hands into lotus at the chest, lotus mudra. Om. Then bringing the hands down into yoni mudra at the base. Om. Up into lotus. Om Yoni. Om Lotus. Om. 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 Holding here in Lotus Mudra at the heart. Just for a moment, taking a few breaths. And releasing the hands down. Stay in this seated position if you're comfortable. If you need to sit on a bolster or change position to kneeling or anything like that, please do. Breathing in, we are going to let the breath out and let as we exhale, we're going to loosen the lips. Our lips is becoming loose just to allow our base area to be loose as well, all around the perineum and around the yoni. So breathing in. One more time. As we're doing this, it's all our face muscles, our jaw are loose. So let's have a little breathe. Breathe in and yawn. Oh. And relax again. One more yawn. Oh. Relaxing the jaw. Lovely, great. It's fantastic. Okay. So if you need to change postures, you may. I'm going to move on to the other side and deer pose with my cushion. And we're going to practice the golden thread breath. So this breath is really a wonderful breath to practice while you're pregnant because it can really aid you during labour. So when you're giving birth to your baby, this breath can really help focus and, just to process everything that's going on and deal with the pain. So it just helps to, dilate everything and the baby to come. So, okay, with the golden thread breath, inhaling through the nose, and we're exhaling and imagining a golden thread guided from the lips, so pursing the lips, from the lips right to the other side of the room. So it's very gentle and the breath is incredibly small. So the lips are pursed quite small, but with a softness around the mouth. So you're not scrunching up your mouth, but it's just quite soft. So breathing in. Relax your shoulders. Breathing in. If you're feeling tense at all as you're doing this, you can just move the body around a little bit and relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Breathing in. Imagining that piercing golden thread moving from your lips right to the other side. Feel the breath relaxing your body, relaxing your belly, relaxing your lower area, so around your cervix. You can practice with your eyes closed or eyes open. Wonderful. Well done. So come back to that breath if you're ever feeling anxious or just really need to bring the heart rate down. It's perfect for calming down the nervous system. So that's a really amazing breath to practice. And you might find it, you never know, you might find it when you're in labour. Okay, so bringing yourself, staying in this posture, in this seated posture, we're going to bring the hand, so the left hand is over to the side, onto the mat, and the right hand is coming over. Breathing in and then exhaling over to the other side. Breathing in and exhaling. Always making room for your baby. There's always room. So we're creating, in this yoga practice, we're creating room, creating space. Gently breathing over. Nice. And then bring yourself back up. And hands back onto the knees, and then moving your deer pose over to the other side. So if you're sitting on a bolster or sitting cross-legged, you'll just have an extra stretch in that same way. Or if you're cross-legged, you can change your legs over actually. So right hand down, exhaling over, and the left hand arm is up. And then over to the other side, exhaling as we exhale as you close over, inhale as you're up. And depending on where you are in your pregnancy, you're just going to be as gentle as you need to. If you're in your mid-trimester and you're feeling a bit more energetic, you might be going a little bit faster. But remember that when you're pregnant, your body mass goes up and you actually create more blood, so that's a lot more for your more plasma. That's a lot more for your body to have surging around. So if you're getting breathless, that's why, one of the reasons why. So being incredibly gentle and slow if you're feeling breathless. Bringing the hands up and then placing them down. Fantastic, lovely. Okay, so we're going to just rock in a kind of like a seated cat. So inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Rocking the pelvis. Nice. Just feeling into what your body needs today. This is your practice and your time. You can always take hold of your belly, your baby. If you feel at any point, you can include your bump in the practice. And gently rocking to stillness. And then moving your legs over to the other side. If you're in deer pose, and rocking. Remembering your breath, inhale, opening, exhale, closing slightly. Just being subtle with our back, so we're not pushing into, we're not hyperextending our back too much, so we're not kind of creating a sway back too much when we're pregnant. And gently coming back to stillness. Okay, we're going to bring Gomukhasana arms. So this is the cow-faced arms. This is fantastic alternative, actually, the deer pose to cow-faced at the legs. So lift up the right arm and bring it down. And that might be as far as you want to go. Bringing up your left arm and then gently guiding over the elbow. That might be enough for you. Stretching all up here. If you'd like to take more of a stretch, you bring your left hand round and you'll be clasping, possibly, like this. So there might be that you're clasping, but if you're not clasping, actually, these always come in handy, you know, scarves and straps and all sorts of things. So you might be wanting to hold your strap like this. Sit in your seated posture. So, and it might be different on the other side. So when we go to the other side, you could find that you're like maybe less supple or more supple. And then gently releasing down. Fantastic. And over to the other side. I'm having to lumber this pillow around with me, but if you're pregnant you might not be doing that because your pelvis changes shape slightly when you're pregnant. Okay, so lifting up your left hand and then placing the left hand down in between your shoulder blades, lifting up the right arm and placing the hand on the elbow, the right hand on the left elbow, and this might be enough for you. And if it's finding you're straining, it's not good for your head for doing that, you can actually use your hand here as well. But if you would like to, stretching round and taking hold of your hand or the strap. So you might be able to hold your hand at this point. Lovely. So really breathing into the stretch. And then releasing down. Fantastic. Nice. Okay, so we're going to come into a gentle twist. Taking a breath in and then over to the other side. Having a little look. Taking a breath in this way and exhale over. And taking a breath while we're here. Breath in and back to center. Lovely. Okay, so I'm going to again move over to this side. If you find the moving around from one side to the other side a bit difficult, then maybe find a different seated position, or you can actually do all one on one side and then the other on the other side. Taking a breath in and exhale to the right. Now a breath in, exhale to center, taking a breath and exhaling over. Remember, we're having a couple of breaths while we're in the twist. Just being really making space for your baby, being really careful of your twist. So if you're in your first trimester, you might not want to twist so much. You might just think, I'm going to look after this area. Breathing in. And exhale back. But as long as you're gentle, it feels safe. Okay, lovely. So, we're going to bring ourselves really subtly transition. So you're bringing yourself now onto all fours. depending on how heavy you're feeling, just coming and moving really slowly. So if you're heavier, make sure you move slower. And you can also put a blanket underneath your knees. That's nice. It's all about looking after yourself. So you've got a blanket under your knees if it's going to hurt your knees at all. And here we are on all fours. And this is Majorasana, the cat. So when we're pregnant, we exhale as we lift up and inhale flat back. So we're not going to arch our back. We're not going to have a sway back. Just leave it as a flat back. Exhale, lifting the back towards the ceiling, lifting up the pelvic floor. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, pelvic floor, lifting up towards the ceiling. Inhale, flat back. So making sure your hands are underneath your pelvis and your knees can be wider. Joy of pregnancy, you can have your knees wider, creating space. Exhale, pelvic floor. Inhale, flat back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lifting up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Fantastic. And bringing the spine back to neutral in our cat. And if your wrists are hurting at all, you can just give them a dance round and then place them back down. Okay, so let's lift up the right leg and extend the leg. And I'll be careful, making sure that you're strong enough in your belly for this. And then giving the leg a little shake. It's great to release out any tension. This is quite good for sciatica, this one. So you're kind of like shaking out your leg, just loosely shaking out. And then exhale down. Inhale, lifting up the leg, shaking, remember breathing, nice deep breaths, stretching out your leg, shaking out the leg, and then bringing your knee back down. That's lovely, great. Okay, so bringing your hips around into a figure of 8. So you're gently rocking your hips or circling your hips, but imagining that they're a figure of 8. So it's like each hip bone is creating a circle and then linking to the other one. Remembering your lovely deep breaths. If it's too much for your wrists, you can have a little break and do this if you've got room for your baby. And remember, if you're quite big in the belly, widen your knees. And only ever do what's comfortable. Lovely. Relaxing breath. Fantastic. Okay, and then bringing the hips back to stillness, and we can just wave the hips from side to side. Just a bit more of a flowing motion that's less organised, as it were. And then gently bringing yourself back to child. So we're going to touch the big toes, open up your knees and make it so you're making space for your baby, and then coming back into child's posture. Now if you're feeling quite full, you can place a couple of pillows or cushions down here and or a bolster, and just make a bit of room for yourself so you're coming into child and just relaxing. Now while we're in child's posture, we're just going to gently lift up the pelvic floor. So exhaling, lifting your pelvic floor, so it's like it's going up a lift, just each step, one stage at a time. All the muscles in your vagina are gently lifting, you're strengthening that area. And then on the next exhale, releasing. Exhaling, lifting up. Take a breath in to repair, and then exhale, releasing. So it's quite a subtle movement, and it's quite an important one for keeping strong in that area through pregnancy and childbirth, and being really prepared for after you've given birth for strengthening up again. Okay, so every exhale there's a lifting of the pelvic floor, those muscles all in the vaginal wall, the birth canal. Take a breath in and then exhale, releasing. Breath in to prepare. Exhale, lifting. Breath in, exhale, releasing. So come back to that whenever you need to. In fact, during practices, it's really sometimes in the exercises it will feel appropriate to do that. But we're also not wanting to over-strengthen that area, and we're wanting to keep ourselves open and free and soft and relaxed as well. So we need to do our pelvic floor exercises, but generally we also want to keep relaxed. So it's a lovely dance of getting that mixture of those things. So yeah, okay, lovely, fantastic. So we're going to gently move to standing. I'm going to place my blanket over there. So we're going to gently bring ourselves really carefully up to standing. And just come up, so nice and slowly. And here we are in Tadasana. So when we're pregnant, we can keep our legs a little bit wide. So we don't need to have our Tadasana like this or like this. We can really open up to shoulder width apart. So standing at the back of your mat, bring yourself into Tadasana with the hands at the heart. Inhale, gently lifting, opening up the hands. Exhale, bending the knees, hands on the knees, bringing yourself down, back onto the mat, and then bringing the right leg forward, placing your forearm on your thigh, and your right forearm on your right thigh, and circling around the left arm. Remembering your lovely breath, and then the other way. Fantastic. Then placing your hands down, bringing your knees back, so wide cat again. Exhale, scooping. Inhale. Exhale up like this, and then inhale, scooping. Exhale up. So it's like you're going round in a circle. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. When you wish to bring in some pelvic floor here, this is great too. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. Start to move the hands back towards the feet. So you're bending your knees, opening up your feet, creating space, and then gently bringing yourself back up and coming back up to standing. Bring the hands to the heart center, lifting up. Hands of namaste above the head, then opening up. Bringing the hands down to the knees, bringing yourself back down onto all fours, bringing the left leg forward, left forearm, left leg, and then the right arm is coming back and forward, back and forward. If you need something under your knee, like a blanket, please do. Please put something under your knee. And if it's the tool's too strong as well, lower, lessen the stance. If the lunge is too strong. And then the other way. Remember that this is your pregnancy. This is your body. So being as careful as you can. Everyone has a very different experience. Okay, and then bringing your back knee, bring your knee that's in front back, and then coming into our flowing cat again. So scooping down, inhaling up, exhale. Pelvic floor is great on the exhale. Inhale, exhale. Pelvic floor in yoga is Mula Bandha. So it's the root lock. So it's very important. Very important part of our bodies. Keeps us really stable. It has so we kind of contained a stability to us. Remember, if you need to, open up your knees wider. If you ever see me with my knees closer together, you don't have to follow that. You can have them as wide as you need. Fantastic, that's great. And then we're going to bring the hands towards the knees, bend for the feet, bend your knees, and then bring the hands onto the thighs, gently bringing yourself back up, lifting up, namaste, and then down to the heart. Lovely, fantastic. Okay, let's do a warrior. So with pregnancy, in pregnancy yoga, warriors are quite different. So you have a much less stance than you would if you weren't pregnant, which would be quite wide. So having a shorter stance, keeping everything nice and soft and loose. And so we're having the heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. That's how I teach it. So bringing the hands to the heart, and your knee can actually move, so you don't need to keep everything really static. So hands to heart and moving away. Heart. In, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Lovely. Breathing in, opening up your chest a little bit more. Exhale. Breathing in. Exhale. If this doesn't feel okay for your arms, if you're really quite pregnant and this feels too much for your heart rate, let's go back to the more gentle one. Exhale. Breathing in. Exhale. Lovely, fantastic. Great. Okay, so we're coming forward and we're coming into a slight squat. So bringing the Yoni Mudra here. This is Yoni Mudra, so round about your sacral chakra area. opening up. Breathing in, exhale. Breathing in, exhale. Breathing in, exhale. Breathing in, careful on your knees. If it's too much for your knees, you don't need to do this. You could just be standing and doing this. Exhale. Or too much for your heart rate, slow down. Exhale. Fantastic. Okay, that's great. So moving on to the other side, so heel to arch alignment. So again, we're inhaling to the heart. Exhale. Inhale. See how I'm bringing my knee in? It's like a kind of dance. Exhale. There's a real movement. It's a vinyasa. So it's like vinyasa krama. So you're basically, your breath is guiding the movement. I mean, this is strong. This is, you know, if you're wanting to build up strength in pregnancy as well, and this will keep you fit. Inhale, exhale, and then bring to the heart again. Just turn subtly, not so it's hurting your pelvis at all. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And if you've really had enough, remember you can always come down. There's always child's pose as well. If it's too much for you. Heart, exhale. Bringing the hands to the heart, turning in the toes, exhale. Bringing the hands onto your knees and then gently bringing yourself down onto the mat. And I think it's about time for a lie down after all of that. That was all a bit of an exertion. Okay, so we're going to lie down and we're going to go into Supta Badakanasana. So we're reclining cobbler pose. And if you have any of these fancy things, if you have any of these fancy things like bolsters, anything to prop yourself up, maybe don't move like I am because you'll be pregnant. Just help yourself. Do it nice and slowly. And I've got this handy for Shavasana. So when we're going into relaxation, I'm going to be wanting that. And going to watch out for my bump, my pretend bump, and then bring these over. You can use cushions and things, but I'm going to use those to support my knees in the reclining Badakanasana. Okay, so bring yourself back in a comfortable way. This is not quite right for me. There'll be a bit of faffing. You can call it the sacred faffing. Oh, that feels comfortable. So yeah, you might need to have as much as possible under your back. So it's making sure you're really comfy. And if you have anything for your knees, you can either just let them hang out like this, and that's fine, but it might be that's a bit much. Otherwise, you can use blocks or cushions or anything else. And maybe bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly, wherever your belly is. And just being super careful of what feels okay. We don't want to be into a massive arch. You really don't want to be arching your back. In pregnancy. So use as much as you need, as many cushions and things as you need. You can pause the video and do more. A hand on heart and really relaxing. Now, if you're over 30 weeks pregnant, this might still be okay for you, but it might not. You might find like, I'm getting out of this. So stay here if this is wonderful for you. But if you're over 30 weeks and you want to come into a form of Shavasana, corpse posture, lie on your left-hand side and bring in some blanket, I haven't got quite enough here, so I'm not going to be able to show you properly. But you might find that you need your bolster or something like that to use as a rest. Make room for your belly, of course. And then you can pad yourself all over the place. So you need to be lying on your left-hand side. And you can rest here like this. So the main thing, especially if you're over 30 weeks, is rest, rest, rest. You're resting for the most amazing, beautiful work you could ever do in your life. The most gorgeous gift you're giving to another human being and to the whole world. The gift of life. So allow yourself to rest. Now, if you're under 30 weeks and you want to stay in the position you were in, you can release your legs down, if it feels really comfortable for you. You could even bring yourself down into Shavasana on your back and bring the bolster or the cushions under your knees and with a cushion under your head like this. And then you'll feel free to cover yourself in a blanket. If I said under 37 weeks, I meant under 30 weeks. I just sometimes don't know what I'm talking about. I mean 30 weeks. That's the kind of point where you don't really want to be lying on your back anymore. And this is the point where you really can relax. So feeling yourself completely held by the mat, completely held by everything. You put on a face mask if you've got one, an eye covering, face pillow, eye pillow. Just feel so supported. You know, you're here, you're completely supported by this earth that you're living on. The image of the Mother Earth, the ultimate giver of life. You're cradled by her. And that image, that being is you. So you're really looking after yourself. You're cradled by yourself, supported by you as a mama. Allow yourself to fully rest. And either you can stay as you are. I thoroughly endorse resting for longer. Or you can gently make your way onto your left-hand side if you're not already. Just gently bringing yourself up in the safest way possible when you're ready. Sitting in whatever position is comfortable for you. Just being with your eyes closed for a little bit longer. Bring your hands to Lotus Mudra at the heart. Let's close our practice together with you and your bump. And we will chant the Om vibration as we move from Lotus Mudra to Yoni Mudra. Gently opening the eyes. Thank you, dear women, dear woman, for sharing this practice. And I want to bless you on your journey, whatever that is for you, whatever unfurls. It's a beautiful journey, and there's a lot of unknowns and unknowables, and thank you for being a strong woman. Namaste. Thank you for sharing this practice.
Oh, radiant sun, pure consciousness, flaming orb of truth and bliss, remove the veil so I can see, illuminate my heart, awaken